Hi everybody, my name is Sabrina and I'm going to be doing my first makeup tutorial on this look right here. If you would like to see how I achieve this look, then just keep on watching. Okay guys, so we're going to start off with the primer. We're going to prime the face and I'm going to use the E.L.F. Poreless Putty Primer. So I'm just going to go in and I'm going to put this all over the face. Okay, so now that that's on and it's applied, it feels good. It feels a little bit tacky, but not too much. It feels moisturizing. Now we're gonna go in with foundation. I'm gonna go in with the Juvia's Place Velvety Matte Foundation. And it's in the shade Alexandria. And I am gonna take this on a Morphe M439 brush, and I just like to apply this just a little bit, just right on the brush. That's just what I like to do personally, and then we're just going to apply this to the face. Now we're gonna go in and we're gonna contour. I like to contour before doing my concealer. So I'm gonna go in with this Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage Concealer and Contour. I use the shade C13. So I'm just gonna go in and apply this. I'm just gonna apply this right here. So now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna set, not set, cut that part. We're gonna conceal now. Now my favorite concealer is the Shape Tape, the Tarte Shape Tape, and I use the shade Fair. So we're gonna go ahead and conceal. So I just put a little bit right here. A little goes a long way with this, so I actually don't put too much. Little on the nose, little on the Cupid's bow. And I put a little bit on my chin. I don't do the forehead because personally, I just don't really like it on myself. So now we're just gonna go in with a beauty sponge and we're going to blend this. Okay, and now that our concealer is all nice and blended out, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna set the under eyes and the eyelids with a setting powder. I'm gonna use the Jeffree Star setting powder. That's my personal favorite. And I'm gonna go in with a brush to set this. I'm gonna use the Morphe M438 brush, and I'm just gonna take some of that and I'm just going to pat this under the under eye. You don't want to do too much because you don't want it to be too crepey. Okay, now that the eyes have been set, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna set the rest of the face. And I'm gonna use the E3 Morphe brush. And I'm just gonna take the same Jeffree Star, I'm using the translucent powder, and I'm just gonna set the rest of the face. Okay. And now that we're done with that, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna move on to the brows. Now for the brows, I'm just gonna use the Anastasia Dipbrow in the shade Dark Brown. I'm gonna also go in with the Anastasia brow brush that goes with it as well. It's the number 12 Anastasia brush. So I'm just gonna go in and I'm just gonna brush my brows really quick with the spoolie. Just so that way the hair, my eyebrow hairs are going in the direction that I want them to go. And then I'm gonna take some of the Dipbrow and I'm gonna start doing the brows. Now that the brows are on, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna set them with a brow gel. I just use the E.L.F brow gel. It's just a clear gel. And I'm just gonna set these bad boys. Just like that. Okay. Now that the brows are set, we're gonna move on to the fun part, which is eyeshadows. Okay, and now we're gonna go for eyeshadows. And I'm gonna start off with the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette. So I'm gonna go in with a big fluffy brush. I am gonna go in with the Morphe Jaclyn Hill collection in her brushes in the JH30. It's just a big fluffy brush. And I'm going to dip into the shade Silk Cream. I like this shade because it's a really good transition shade. And I am just gonna put this all in the crease. Just really get in there, start here, and then I'm just going to work this in windshield wiper motions back and forth. Just really getting it into the crease like that. Just back and forth. Then when there's not a lot on the brush, then I just go into the inner corner like so. Just to really give it more of a flawless look. And we are good right there. Then we're gonna go in with another fluffy brush. This one is more pointed. This is the JH32, also from the Jaclyn Hill Morphe collection. And we're gonna dip into a slightly darker shade. It's the shade right next to Silk Cream. It's called MFEO, and we're just gonna dip into this, and we're gonna tap off the excess always, and again, and this time we're gonna keep this tighter into the crease, real tight. This time you can go into the inner corner. We're gonna keep this nice and tight in that crease. Perfect. Now we're gonna go in with another brush. We're gonna go in. This is an old brush that I have. I've had this for years. This is a Sephora collection brush. It doesn't even really have a number on it, but it's just any type of flat brush like this, just to really pack on color, will work. And I'm gonna go in with the shade, another shade from the Jaclyn Hill palette. It's Pukey, and I'm gonna put this all over the lid. Just gonna take that, and we're just gonna take off the excess, and we're just gonna apply this all over the lid. And we're gonna take this all the way up. Just pat gently and bring it all the way up to where we put that first color. Just like so. Now we're gonna take that same brush that we took from earlier, the JH32, the pointed fluffy brush, and we're gonna dip into, we're gonna blend this, so we're gonna use MFEO again, and we're just gonna blend that in the crease once more, just to meld those two colors together once again. So now, we're gonna darken this up just a little bit, and we're gonna use the Jeffree Star Mini Breaker palette. And I'm gonna dip into the shade Hot Fudge, and I'm gonna go into that using a really small definer brush. I'm gonna go in with the JH40 brush. It's a really tiny defined brush, and we're just gonna dip into Hot Fudge. It's like this cool tone, chocolatey brown color. It's hot fudge color. And we're gonna take that and we're gonna pat a little bit onto the outer corner, just like so. Just a little bit, not too much. Blend it just like so, and then we're gonna take that into the crease. Just halfway, not too much. We're gonna go in with another brush and blend that out as well. Just applying it with a little brush. To get exact placement. And then once it's applied like so, we're gonna go in with a clean brush. We're gonna go in with a JH33 brush, and we're gonna take that and we're gonna buff. A nice clean brush to get clean lines, and we're gonna buff that color all the way in. We're gonna go back with that JH32 brush just to soften everything up and blend it a little bit more. Okay. Now, we're gonna go ahead and do the under eye. I'm gonna go in with a definer brush to start off, and I'm going to use the JH43 brush. It's just a definer brush, and we're gonna dip in to the shade Pukey again from the Jaclyn Hill palette. And we're gonna take that and we're just gonna put it right underneath. I wanna go slightly darker on the under eye, so I'm gonna dip in to the shade Pooter next to it, also from the Jaclyn Hill palette. I'm gonna use the same definer brush just to darken up that under eye just a little bit more, because we wanna smoke it out. Then we're gonna go in with a pencil brush. I'm gonna go in with the Morphe M321, and I'm gonna dip into Silk Cream once again. Tap off the excess, and we're just going to buff that down. Those colors that we just put on, we're just gonna buff them down. And then we're gonna go in and we're gonna highlight the inner corner. I'm going to take a Jaclyn Hill JH42 brush, and I'm going to dip into the first shade in the palette, which is in Light. And I'm going to use this to highlight my inner corner and my brow bone. So we're just going to highlight that right there. It's just going to give a nice pop of color. And it's just going to draw attention to the inner corner. And we're just going to highlight the brow bone. Excuse the background noise, guys. I highlighted a little too much, so I'm just gonna blend a little bit right here, just to blend that out just slightly. And now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna clean up that under eye. So I'm gonna take that first brush that we use for our under eye to set the under eye. It's the M438. Nothing on it, and I'm just going to brush away that fallout. Just back and forth. Just like so. Okay. Now, we're just gonna go ahead and I'm going to line my waterline with a black pencil. I just used the Urban Decay Zero liner pencil. And I'm just going to line my waterline. And now we're gonna move on to the face. So remember earlier I did put a cream contour, but now I'm gonna go ahead with a powder contour. I'm just gonna use the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. I use the middle shade of the contour. It's in the shade Shadow Play. I need to buy a new one. I would show this to you, but unfortunately it's broken, so I have to not show it to you or else it'll fall out. So we're just gonna dab it off, and we're gonna take this and we're gonna start right here, and we're just gonna blend. I like to do little circular motions, and we're just gonna blend that out just right there all the way up to the temple. Just like, okay. Now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go in with blush. It's actually not technically a blush. I don't really use blush. I just use bronzer. That's what I use as my blush. So I'm gonna go in with the Sephora collection bronzer in the shade Fuji. It looks just like this. Okay, it's a really pretty shade. It's beautiful. I absolutely love it. I use this for my blush almost in every makeup look. I absolutely love it. It's my favorite. And I'm gonna, to apply that, I'm gonna go in with the Morphe E40 brush, and I'm just gonna go slightly over the top of that contour powder that we just laid down. Just like so. Just like that. So now I would go in with my highlight next, but I wanted to add just one last part to my eye look. It's a very matte look, and you could keep it like this if you wanted, but I want to add a little something extra to it. So I'm gonna go in with the Jeffree Star Supreme Frost in Caramel Kiss. It looks just like this. I'll show the back as well. This is from his summer collection. I actually got this in his Halloween mystery box, which was totally cool. So now for this, I'm gonna go in with just my fingers, which is one finger, and I'm just gonna rub it in. I love this formula because it feels really wet and it's pretty. And I'm just gonna go in, and I'm actually just going to put this onto the inner corner right here of my lid. Oh my god, I love that. It's so pretty. Now this is completely optional. You totally do not have to do this, but I just love to apply this, because this of course is a highlighter, but it's too dark for my skin tone. So I love to put this on the eyes to just give a little like oomph, you know? And we're just gonna pat this. Do not bring this all the way to the outer corner of your eye. You just want this right here, just, you know, to add a little pizzazz. So I did get some fallout from it because it does have quite a bit of glitter in it. So I'm just gonna wipe that away. Just like that. So now I'm gonna highlight. So I'm gonna go in with the BECCA Cosmetics Shimmering Skin Perfector in the shade Opal. And I'm going to use a Morphe brush again, the M501 brush. And I'm just gonna dip in and I'm gonna highlight right here. Just like so. I like to bring it right here so that way to the apples of the cheeks. That way when I smile, it does pop. You see you have a little something something. And I do like to do just a little bit above the eyebrow and then just a little bit on the nose. And then Cupid's bow. Just like that. Now, before I go in with mascara, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna set my face, because every time I put on mascara and then set my face, when I close my eyes, I have long lowered lashes, so they touch the bottom of my under eye and then it leaves little marks, and I don't want that, so I'm going to set my face first. So I'm gonna use the Jeffree Star times Morphe Set and Refresh Mist in the scent Starberry. I love this stuff. It smells so good. So we're gonna put a lot because remember, I want a more of a dewy finish. Now I'm gonna use my favorite shade. This is what I call this my nude shade, because I don't like to go super nude. I like more of a warm tone shade. So I'm gonna use the Jeffree Star Gemini Velour Liquid Lip. I love this shade. I'm gonna need to buy a new one soon. So we're gonna go ahead and apply this. Now we're gonna let this dry. So now my skin has dried somewhat from putting the setting spray. Now, like I said, I put a lot because I like more of a dewy finish. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and spray just one more time, just a quick spray. Now, we can go ahead and I like to put just a little bit of a gloss. So I'm gonna use the Fenty Beauty, the Gloss Bomb. It's the original shade in Fenty Glow. I love this, it smells so good. I highly recommend this gloss. So we're just gonna put just a little bit. And now we're gonna go ahead and curl our lashes. Just like that. And we're gonna go in with some mascara. I'm just using the Colossal Volume Express mascara from Maybelline. I just used the blackest shade that they have. And we're just gonna go in. Now, I take my time with my mascara because unfortunately, I don't know how to apply false lashes. I know, I love them. The only time I've used them is for me and my sister's wedding because I had somebody professionally apply them. and I love them, but I just don't know how to do them. I've watched so many tutorials and I just don't know how to apply them. It's just the one thing I cannot do. Okay guys, and this completes my first makeup tutorial look. I hope you guys liked it. Just let me know in the comments down below if you guys liked it, or if you guys have any other recommendations for any other makeup looks that you would like for me to do. And I will see you all in the next video. Thank you. Bye.